天我来到了这个系列第3站大秦山寺。If Guanren Temple and Basian Palace were already in the thick of city life, Daxingshan Temple takes it further. It sits in the Xiaozhai commercial district, one of Xi'an's busiest shopping areas. The temple is just 400 meters from Xiaozhai Station, the most heavily used metro stop in the city. Right at its entrance runs a commercial street named after the temple itself. From the corner, it looks like an ordinary strip aimed at young shoppers. Trendy goods, street food, the usual. But as you walk deeper toward the temple, past the food stalls, something unexpected appears. The largest second-hand book market in all of Xi'an. This is the scripture translation square. The three-figure sculpture commemorates two groups of Indian Buddhist masters who translated sutras here. The first group, the three masters of the Kaihuang era, worked here during the reign of Emperor Wen of the Sui dynasty. Through their efforts, Daxingshan Temple gradually became the center of Buddhist scripture translation across both the Sui and Tang dynasties. Then came the three Indian masters of the Kaiyuan era during the Tang dynasty. Abkarosiha, Vajrabodhi, and Amigovajra, J1.18, most notably Amigovajra, didn't just translate scriptures. They founded Chinese esoteric Buddhism here, known as Tang esoteric Buddhism, whose influence on the development of world Buddhism would prove profound and lasting. Even setting Buddhism aside entirely, the fact that so many second-hand book stalls have taken root in Xi'an's most commercial neighborhood feels like an echo of those great masters who once lived and worked here. Daxingshan Temple is the ancestral home of Chinese esoteric Buddhism. Esoteric Buddhism emerged in the later stages of Indian Buddhism's development as it came under pressure from other faiths and began absorbing elements from other religions. It has a vast pantheon, elaborate rituals and mantras, and a reputation for being able to address virtually any need. And yet, even this adaptability wasn't enough to sustain it. Buffeted by external pressures and internal transformation, esoteric Buddhism gradually faded from its homeland in India. When esoteric Buddhism arrived in Tang Dynasty China, it merged with Taoism. The most famous example is the 9-syllable mantra and its accompanying hand seals: Ling, Bing, Dou, Zhe, Jie, Zhen, Lie, Zai, Qian. Written in esoteric Buddhist seed syllables, it looks like this. The original text is actually a Taoist incantation for warding off evil. Taken from the Baopuzi, written by the Eastern Jin Taoist master Ge Hong. Esoteric Buddhism adopted it, but somewhere along the way, a copying error changed the final character, and in the Buddhist version the phrase became slightly different. After it spread to Japan through esoteric Buddhism, the hand seals were adopted by ninja as a protective incantation. Today, the 9-syllable mantra regularly appears in Japanese anime. And in the choreography of idol groups.
就此尘烟，默念一遍，令你都拆解成
It's a remarkable case of cultural transmission across centuries, borders, and religious traditions. Esoteric Buddhism has always placed great importance on ritual, and with that comes a rich array of ritual implements. Directly across from the temple gate stands a Vajra, the thunderbolt scepter symbolizing the overcoming of obstacles and the attainment of enlightenment. Just as the prayer flags in white stupa at Gwanrin Temple announce its Tibetan Buddhist identity, this massive Vajra announces Daxingshan Temple's esoteric character. The Vajra was originally an ancient Indian weapon. Its unyielding hardness made it a natural symbol for the indestructible wisdom and power of the Buddha. Tang esoteric Buddhism flourished for roughly 100 years after the three Kaiyuan masters founded it. Then came the Huichan suppression under Emperor Wuzong of the Tang, a systematic persecution of Buddhism that wiped out esoteric Buddhism in China. Fortunately, Huiguo, a disciple of Amigo Vajra, one of the three Indian masters, passed the essentials of the tradition to the Japanese monk Kokai. Through him, Tang esoteric Buddhism lived on in Japan.
邪密宗东归，由至昔日跨海而至彼岸，震怒，必名五曰变照金刚，变照金刚。
This is why, despite being the ancestral home of esoteric Buddhism, Daxingshan Temple only resumed practicing its own tradition in 2016, when the current abbot Quenshu brought the teachings back from Japan. It has been barely 10 years. 10 years is not long, but esoteric Buddhism's inclusive, syncretic spirit is already on full display here. Everything under one roof, just as the stone inscription at the entrance to the main hall reads, all gathered in one place. There is a wishing wall, just like at Guangren Temple, and Daxingshan Temple goes one step further, adding a set of wishing pillars as well. At Guangren Temple, you write your own wish. Here, Daxingshan Temple has taken things a step further. The wishes are already printed on the red silk ribbons for you. And the range of options covers just about every conceivable category of human desire. Pick the one you need and hang it up. After all, everything is Buddha's blessing. Even for something as fundamental as burning incense, Daxingshan Temple is remarkably thoughtful. It is, without question, the most clearly signposted temple we visited. Every step of the incense ritual is explained, along with what each action means. And like the pre-printed wish ribbons, the incense sticks themselves come printed with wishes, concise, but covering the essentials. So you can watch your desire turn to smoke and drift upward toward the divine. Candles are also available, and again, the wish comes pre-printed on the wrapper, no writing required. What you want, stated plainly. And then there is the most direct form of devotion we encountered at Basan Palace, the touch. Behind the main hall stands an open-sided shrine made entirely of bronze. The same dark metal as the commemorative tablet at Basan Palace's Hall of Wealth, the kind that polishes to a gleam the moment a hand meets it. Take this gleaming bowl. It's no ordinary animal. It's the Mount of Yamantaka, one of the most powerful wrathful deities in esoteric Buddhism. The most famous polished bull in the world is probably this one, the charging bull on Wall Street. How similar their stories really are is open to debate. But whether it's the English bull market or the Chinese expression for something impressively powerful, the hopes people project onto bulls seem to cross languages and cultures with ease. Of the four faces of this shrine, the one facing south is Mahakala, himself a testament to esoteric Buddhism's capacity for absorption. Originally Shiva, one of the three supreme deities of Indian Brahmanism, he was taken into Buddhism as a Dharma protector. In the Tang esoteric tradition specifically, he took on an even more concrete role, the god of fortune and wealth. And since Mahakala is a wealth deity, the cat statue outside his shrine has naturally come to be seen as a lucky money cat. Its association with fortune means it has long since been rubbed to a high shine. We were fortunate enough to speak with one of the worshippers during our visit.
我想问几个很简短的问题，不太久。就是我想问，就是您摸这个猫的目的，就是他们网上说就是招财。
对，因为它这个不是财神嘛，所以这个就是大家说它是招财猫，所以你看有人给它喂猫粮，然后你看它的头都被摸得水光溜滑的。对，我觉得可能沾一沾财气。
所以您就觉得就是这方面是有，您对这方面是有一定信仰，或者是相信这些是一定存在的吗？
摸摸总没坏处，就是我觉得是个念想，尤其你来到这个地方，它又是一个佛教的一个祖庭嘛，对，我觉得可能它这里面的寓意，我觉得总是好的。
所以你觉得这些东西其实是跟你有一定关联性的，就是可能不是所谓的什么神或者是来帮你，只是就是你觉得这样会有一个想法，或者是会有一种暗示，是吧？
你说这个事儿，那我觉得是这样，就是我以前也接触过宗教，就是比如说西方的基督教，我也接触过、了解过，因为我是学那个语言学的，对，所以我也在国外待过。然后西安呢，我也去过别的那个就是庙啊，对什么的。我今天来这儿是因为我觉得，寺庙这个地方它整体是比较，你看它比较安静，就是不太吵。然后，你去店里面去拜呀，我觉得它这儿有一个那种氛围，会让人比较静心，然后你能去更专注于一些事情。然后这是一个，再一个就是我觉得，我倒不觉得我有什么信仰哈，就是绝对我是个佛教徒或者我是个什么基督教徒，我不这么认为。但是，我觉得可能这个念想和这个寄托，它是一种正念吧，所以我每次来到，不管是我反正什么庙都会去一下哈，然后去的时候一般都还比较敬畏。第一肯定是敬畏，然后呢，那肯定也有所求嘛。就比如说我为什么在这儿摸这个招财猫，就是希望可以在收入上更好一些。对，大概我是这么理解我的这个逛庙的这个动机的。好。
Stillness and focus. These are things we haven't talked much about in this series. But Daxingshan Temple is genuinely a place that slows you down. There are animals everywhere, mostly cats and pigeons. People stop and play with the cats. To the northeast of the Wishing Pillars is a pigeon square. I suspect a lot of people could happily spend half a day just here. Whatever your relationship to faith or prayer, the temple does something real on a purely physical level. It holds the noise of the city at a distance. For people living in a fast-paced modern city, always optimizing, always moving, this is, genuinely, a place to stop.